listening to Haunted Haze. Hey, welcome back to Haunted Haze. I'm Josh.
I'm Kristen.
And this is episode 11.
Yes, my favorite number.
Yeah, today we're going to tell some ghost stories.
I'm really excited because this is a super special episode.
It is a special episode because we have our first ever guest.
Yes, we have a guest.
Woo! Guest. We have my daughter, Madeline.
Maddie.
Yeah, she goes by Maddie.
Hey.
She's 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's got some ghost stories too.
Yeah, she's actually lived in a haunted house before.
Yeah, a legit haunted house. I can attest to that. I've also experienced things at that same house.
And I actually did a little research on the area and found out like there might be some legit reasons why it's haunted.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's cool.
Some ancient history there.
But before we get into it, I just also want to encourage everybody to give us a like on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, continue to give us likes. Please review our podcast if you're listening to it.
Rate us.
Yeah, rate us if you're listening to it on Spotify or iTunes. Now we're on YouTube.
Oh yeah, we're on YouTube. Everything.
You know, make sure to like us, rate us, give us 5-star reviews if you're enjoying this. Hope you've been having fun. This has been a lot of fun for us. I love talking about this scary stuff. So the events that we're about to talk about are really kind of some of my best personal experiences that I've ever had concerning ghost stories.
Okay.
Yeah, so this particular, it's in a subdivision. It's a house in a subdivision, and this is Madeline's mom, her parents' home, right?
Yeah. So Maddie's grandparents.
Maddie's grandparents, their home. And this was back in 2003, 2004. Me and her mother were dating, and we'd go over to her house to hang out a lot. Well, all the time, like, we would experience. So we'd hang out at her house, you know, after school or, you know, on the weekends and stuff. And a lot of times when we'd hang out, like, there would be just strange things that go on there. Like, you would always, like, it was kind of a running joke. So much stuff kind of happened with that family there. You would see like shadow people like running or walking like across like the top. I don't know, what would you call that? The top of the stairs there.
Yeah, the balcony or whatever.
Yeah, the balcony. Yeah. Sometimes you could even like it would look like someone was looking over that balcony.
Yeah, like you feel someone staring. Yeah.
Yeah, like staring at you from that balcony.
Man, that's stressful.
That balcony kind of looked over into the living room.
Yeah.
And so you'd be sitting in the living room, like watching the TV, but you could also kind of see it was like a very short hallway leading into her grandparents' bedroom. And sometimes in that hallway, you could like see like what looked like a little girl just standing like in the corner. Just it looked maybe like she was 5 or 6, you know, just not very tall.
You could see her?
Well, you could see like the shape of her.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
If like all the lights are off and you can see like, oh, there's like
a little girl
standing there.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
That's what it would kind of look like.
So everybody's experienced like seeing this little girl and stuff?
Oh yeah. Anyone that would come over there, they would all say something like, did you guys just see that? And then everybody would be like, oh yeah, that's, you know,
yeah.
that's just the ghost of the house.
Did y'all name her, the ghost?
Did the ghost ever get a name?
No, I think she was just a little girl.
Just the little girl, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
creepy enough. It's
Yeah.
just the little girl.
Yeah, right. So some of my personal experiences there were one time we were about to leave, me and her mother, Megan. We were about to go somewhere, I don't know, who knows, go out to eat or to dinner or something. Anyway, we went to her room to kind of finish getting ready. I think we might have been waiting on some other people to meet us there. And as I was walking up to her room, like she had to like clean her room pretty often. She like dusted it, so she had this feather duster, like this old school feather duster.
Yeah.
And she had it sitting on top of like where her like TV and her DVD player on top of like a dresser drawer. Yeah, right. Like a dresser. And you kind of like walked by it as you entered her room. And when I walked by it, it literally slung off of that thing and hit me dead in the middle of the back. And I turned around and I saw it sitting on the ground. And I looked up at Megan, and I was like, "Whoa!" You know, I thought maybe she like knocked it off or like threw it at me or something, like, you know, teasing me with it.
Yeah.
And no, she was just sitting like staring like, what the hell just happened? You know, I didn't brush it. I didn't bump into anything.
But
you know
it
what I'm
like
saying?
threw at you.
Yeah,
Threw
it literally
itself
just
at
like
you.
slung off of it and like hit me in the middle of the back. Oh, you get nervous? Another time, we were up there hanging out, and it was like a school night or so, you know, like we're getting ready to go to leave and go to bed, and I was about to leave. Well, I was sitting there, like laying on my stomach with my feet hanging off the bed, like just kind of talking before I left, and we were just sitting there, and I heard. So I was just laying there, and I heard on the bottom of my foot, it felt like someone scratched all the way down my foot. And
But on your shoe.
Yeah, I had some tennis shoes on, and it sounded like.
Ew,
Like all the way down my
yes.
foot, slow like that. Well, her little brother, Tanner, was like 1 at the time, but he was old enough to like walk and crawl and all that stuff. And I thought that maybe he, you know, came up there because he'd come up there and play with us and stuff up
Yeah.
in her room. And I thought, you know, he had came up there and just, you know, hey, we're going, you know, good night, sissy.
Yeah.
And I turned around expecting to see him there, and there was nothing there at all. And
That's awful.
I was like, did you hear that? She's like, yeah, like begging. And she's like, yeah, I heard it. And I heard and felt that, like someone like scraping the bottom of my foot. And that was like one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had, because I've never been touched or anything else like that.
Yeah.
That's the closest to being like physically touched by maybe a ghost.
Yeah, it sounds like it did touch you.
Yeah,
God, you had shoes on. Cause can you imagine?
but barefooted? Oh
Ugh.
God, the devil scratched my barefoot. Ugh. Well, Maddie can probably attest to some more of her family, like her poppy and her nana, like
Yeah.
some of their stories and some experience. What experience have you had there, Maddie?
Well, I haven't like had any personal experiences, like something hasn't ever happened to me.
Right.
But we always get told this story by my nana. It's about my uncle, which is my mom's little like
Tanner.
youngest brother. Yeah, and like it happened, and my nana always tells it because it's so creepy. So like one day she tells us, she says one day Tanner was using the restroom or whatever, or he was in the bathroom, but he was small. He was not old enough to like, you know.
Right. He needed like help. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
he wasn't potty trained fully. So she went there to help him, and as she was like going to clean him up and stuff, Tanner was like just looking up and was like, just like looking like stunned, like you know, you just
Yeah, like, what
weird
is
looking.
that?
Yeah. Like, what do you do? What am I experiencing? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so then Nana was like, what is he doing? And he was like, she wants to play.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Oh.
That's like a kid say the damnedest things.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly a kid say the damnedest thing.
He was like, she wants to play, and she was like, who? What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
right. Who?
Like, she was like freaking out. So like, guess she finished cleaning them up and stuff, and like just like got spooked and just like
Yeah, like, okay, let's leave this area.
Yeah,
right.
So
No, we're not playing today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one's playing. Yeah.
so that's that one, and then there's always one. I don't know. It just gets brought up by my nana and stuff. One day, my nana and my mom were, you know, I think they were cleaning me and my uncle's room. Tanner, me and him share a room because
yeah.
we're just close in age. They were cleaning up our room, and I guess they were just putting like little simple puzzles together.
Okay.
Just like put them away and like wherever they went or whatever. And as they were making them, there's like multiple single ones of them. As they were making them, they would put them to the side and like do the next whatever they were doing, and they would look over and all the puzzle pieces were like scattered around.
Oh, like someone just completely took it
Yeah,
apart.
like they're just
That's
taking them apart,
crazy.
playing with them.
After
yeah.
they had finished them, though.
Yeah, after they had put them
Wow.
aside, after they put them all together,
Ugh.
Wow,
which is
that
creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was definitely a room upstairs where it felt like this presence kind of just lived, right?
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you about that too.
And that's like the furthest room, closest to the balcony,
Yeah.
right there by the bathroom upstairs. Right?
Yeah, that one, and there's also, you know, you go up the stairs and there's one directly to your left, directly to your right,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's the bathroom right beside the right one.
Yeah.
You know, there's that little hallway that goes into that linen closet, and then there's like, take that other little short hallway down, and it's the big room.
Right.
And that one has like, I feel like I got told this before, but I never really like paid attention. But my nana, they're like moving out and stuff, so they're just like packing everything, you know. They're finally moving out of the house or whatever. So they're packing it up or whatever, and like there was just a bunch of my other uncle.
Yeah. Okay.
It was all of his like trophies and stuff, because that used to be his old room.
Right. Yeah.
And I got told this before, but there's a little in that closet in the big room, like all the way like kind of by itself. And it has a big a little walk-in closet.
Right.
And of course it was covered in a bunch of stuff because it just got piled over each other and stuff. So there's a little door in there. I feel like I did
Inside the closet, there's a little door.
like a little
Oh,
basement
like a
door.
little basement door.
Yeah, and it just has it's like kind of empty, but it has like stuff in it.
Okay.
So it's just like a little
Wow.
hideout door.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
What do y'all have in there?
Just like little stuff, like not important stuff.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "Yeah, that's where she lives."
Oh,
She
God.
brought it up and stuff. I was like, "Yeah, that's where she lives." And I was like, "That makes sense."
It's like built for.
Yeah, because that room was my uncle's room, and all like the girls or like the friends he's brought over in that room,
Yeah.
they all witnessed something like coming from that way of the closet.
Oh.
And now that's my youngest uncle's room. Ever since my oldest uncle moved out, that's been his room, just because it has like a mounted TV and stuff. It's a bigger.
Yeah, it's a bigger room.
Yeah, so he moved in there, and like he would go to the bathroom and stuff, like at the end of the hallway, but upstairs he would go to that bathroom, and I would be in there by myself, and like just felt like a weird presence.
Yeah, I
It's
totally
always
feel
that weird energy.
That bathroom was always creepy to me.
Yeah, for sure.
That bathroom just has like I just want to get out of here.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like someone's either waiting right outside the door or someone's in there with you. Like it's just a very
Yeah,
I'm ready to get out.
The vibes, yeah.
A lot of that house they have remodeled,
Yeah.
right? And I remember like your poppy was remodeling something. I think maybe a bathroom or maybe the laundry closet.
Yeah.
And that I remember then like it like really kind of kicked up some of the energy there.
Yeah. For
And
sure.
I remember people saying a lot.
And they made that den in the back, that add-on.
Yeah.
They dug up all that stuff, put in concrete, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And it seemed like the more they did stuff, the more, there was just
For
kind of
sure.
this energy around.
Yeah.
I feel
Plus,
like
they
that's-
acknowledged it,
Yeah, and I feel like that happens whenever people start doing renovations or when people move and are doing we've experienced it like during the moving, like something about moving.
Something about moving
stirs up the energy.
Yeah. Well, I think it's got to be the environment is changing, And
Yeah.
I feel like if you believe in ghosts or whatever kind of energy or entity, stuff being moved out of the home totally is changing that environment, or construction on it, or whatever it might be, So these things are probably like, what is going on,
Yeah, for sure. And everything is energy.
Yeah.
So
right?
every single thing is energy. So it all is gonna. You take everything out, the
What?
energy's gonna change.
I think that's interesting too, because they cohabitated with it for a while. Like no one was really ever scared there. It was more of like a spooky story. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, that's weird. And I do see things, and I have seen stuff, but nothing's ever really hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? But still, at the same time, it was very poltergeist feeling.
For sure.
And I never. Have you ever heard of anything moving there? Or
The
Yeah.
puzzle pieces.
Yeah,
Well, I guess the puzzle pieces.
Yeah. Well, other than that, it's been like like on experiences, like someone, I feel like this is the thing. I feel like I was aware. I just knew there's that energy that's right there, so I probably pictured it in my head. But I was using the restroom in that same hallway bathroom where you can see the balcony. Like if you look straight from the bathroom door, you can see.
Were you like leaving the door open to make sure nothing gets you? I feel you. Yeah.
So
it was one of those bathrooms. It's like I don't even want to close this bathroom door.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can, like, when you look up at it, you can see like basically the whole stairs, the whole upstairs, and so I just feel like I was aware of this like energy because I know it's up there. I know about the stories and stuff. I'm aware of it. I feel like I was aware of like all the energy and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I pictured something in my head.
Yeah, I think that that house was so kind of creepy anyway, and then you had all the kind of stories and stuff did happen, but I think a lot of it you just built up in your mind. And you're just anticipating, like, to see a ghost or see something, you know.
Especially because it was upstairs, it was dark, and my door's, like, wide open.
But that house definitely had, like, a for sure energy feeling to it. Yeah.
So what's the new thing that happened?
You all ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So, that same upstairs, the one that's, like, just by itself or whatever.
The room with the closet that has the tiny door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, no one ever really stayed in that room, right? Not for long.
Yeah.
It's Tanner's room now.
Yeah, but, like, he's in college or whatever, so it's like...
So he's
that's what I'm saying. Like, no one ever stays in that room for long. I think it was Tanner's room when he was a baby because his crib and everything was up there then. But he never stayed in there.
Yeah.
He always, like, slept with his parents.
Yeah.
Or a lot of the time he did.
Right, so... That same room, we were all in it because we were painting it just to, like, get it ready for it to sell or whatever. So we painted it or whatever. They were painting the closet, and my mom was like, yeah, that's her house. Like, she's just like...
it up.
Right. And so, like, we were talking about it while we were painting it, and we were like, you know, nothing hasn't, like, we haven't, like, disturbed her. Like, is she not mad that we're leaving or whatever? Because, like, we're the only people that have been in that house.
Well, maybe she grew up and moved on.
Yeah, maybe, you know? So, we were like, you know, no one has had, like, any experiences, like, nothing like that or whatever. Like, she hasn't, like, made herself known. We were asking my nana, like, has she done something yet?
Did they ever have, like, a priest or something come, like, pray over the house or something?
Maybe.
I thought maybe they did that.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't really remember. But something, maybe, I don't know.
So you asked your Nana, like, if anything had been happening recently?
Yeah, since they've been, like, everything, like, everyone's been upstairs just, like, messing around. Like, getting
packing
everything out.
And stuff.
Yeah, whatever. So... She was like, no, like, nothing's happened yet. So I was like, oh, wow. Like, I haven't... Do you think she'll come with us when we move or whatever? And she was like, oh, I don't know. Mm-hmm. So...
Yeah, let's hope not. Like,
right.
it was nice knowing you, but please stay here.
Right.
Yeah.
So nothing happened, and we were just, kind of went on with our conversation or whatever. Soon enough, we were still in that room. We were still painting and everything. And I think everyone was, like, kind of downstairs, maybe finishing up dinner. We got kind of, like, caught up in time or whatever, so we were eating dinner. And I think my Justin and my uncle, my oldest uncle, they were in there painting. And my Justin, he was in the closet painting and, like, lining up the walls or whatever. And sure enough, they're just, in there listening to music, like, not even talking to each other, just, like, painting, doing their own
working.
thing. Yeah. So, next thing you know, in the closet has, like, a little light switch because it's kind of like a walk-in closet.
Okay.
He was in there by himself with the little door. And, like, that was the only light that went out. The light went out, and that was the only light that went out in the house.
That's creepy.
Not even, like, the bedroom.
While he was in there?
Yes.
With the little door.
Yeah.
Did the door shut?
No. Goodness.
Yeah.
I would have died. Yeah, for real.
The light goes off and you hear the door go...
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, what we just said, like, something about moving gives it that energy. Like,
in closets.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Moving and like, what is it about ghosts? Like, I'll just sleep in the closet. What is that?
I don't know. Do you think that it has anything to do with, like, the psychology of, like, why we think closets are scary because they told us that ghosts live in the closet or monsters are in the closet.
Oh no, I don't know.
I mean, we have the experience at the apartment that ghost lived
Well,
in
I
the
think
closet.
like closets and attics and basements are just inherently creepy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
basements make sense though because it's like in the ground.
Because they're very unlived in rooms, right?
Yeah.
You feel like nothing is living in here, so why would a ghost not?
Yeah, it's like that's their house.
Yeah, it's just the closet. There's nothing that lives in there, or is there?
Right.
Well, so the area that your Nana's house is at, it's like very much Native American.
Yeah, so it's just south of Memphis on Highway 61.
Yeah, like
area.
going towards Tunica, Mississippi.
North Mississippi going towards Tunica, Mississippi, yeah. An area that everyone just calls the Delta.
Or the bluff. Yeah,
Delta
so it's like the
Bluffs
Delta,
area.
but it's like also the bluffs.
Yeah.
So
it's considered the Delta Bluffs area.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like right at the state line, and it's when you go up into the neighborhood, it's uphill, and there is like a huge hill.
Oh,
like
yeah.
right when you come into the neighborhood. So I don't know if
and it's on top of these actual like bluffs. That look
the actual
high
Delta
over,
bluffs. Yes.
Yeah, like high over like the Delta area, the very flat land. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is. So I've heard that neighborhood was built on like native burial
Indian
mounds.
burial ground.
Yeah.
Well, but there's never been proof to that. So it's never been proven that they've actually found bones while building that neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I do remember hearing reports about that.
Well, and so I found proof on the internet that there is actually 2 proven Indian burial mounds not a mile away from that neighborhood.
Yeah, like less than a mile away from that
Yeah,
neighborhood.
it's basically like it's kind of like where our high school where kids would go hang out. There's
Right.
it's literally a 100-foot tall bluff
You're right.
that goes down into the Delta.
Well, it's also an Indian burial ground.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
can park there. And so what I read online, it said like just off the road.
Right.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Yeah, the
It's like a
bluffs.
trend now. Like
Oh.
just like go and watch the sunset.
And that's been a trend for the
Well-
last 20 years.
Yeah, right. Yeah, once you're in high school, there's
Yeah.
not much else to do here. So.
Yeah, so it's like a rite of passage, I guess, to go to the bluff.
Right.
But yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so I mean, it's not unheard of that they possibly found bones and that those houses were built on. And we know how that goes, right? We've all seen Poltergeist, so.
Yeah, right.
uh,
That's whenever they built a house on top of an
a
Indian graveyard
yeah.
or whatever, and
the ghost like haunted the house. And was, yeah.
there's somebody listening to this thinking, "Oh my God, she hasn't seen Poltergeist."
Yeah,
but she's 16. Like,
yeah. So yeah. Still a
but
great movie.
you would
though.
actually probably like be like, "Oh shit, this is." I grew up in a house like this.
Right.
Yeah. So did it affect you at all growing up in a haunted house? Do you feel like you are more receptive to like spirits and ghosts and things like that? Do you believe more in them?
Yeah, for sure. Just because I've had like so many experiences, not personally, like nothing has happened to me yet. I've always felt like her presence, but
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's like always this thing. It's like she always messes with like the guests, people that come in the house, like.
Right.
It's like
Not
kind of
the
like
family.
she protects us,
Yeah, it's like
So
she
I've
knows
always-
y'all.
And she
Yeah.
may has never like really exposed herself to you because if she's a little girl, like you've always been a little girl in
Yeah.
that house, So
Yeah.
it's like maybe somehow she does feel protective of you, even.
Yeah, that would be cool, right?
Right? Yeah, you got your little sidekick ghost.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. She's always just like just look like innocently, just popped up to other people and stuff.
Yeah. There was never any time that like anyone felt threatened that I recall
Yeah,
or anything
it's
like
just
that
like,
because but there was a lot of that though. There was a
Yeah.
lot of this is creepy.
Well, and like y'all, it sounds like a lot of people have experienced just like
it was a very
something there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very active house for sure. Yeah, I mean, even some of the experiences I had. How many times do you go to a haunted place hoping to catch some evidence and never catch anything? Like so.
Yeah.
That one house I caught, or I experienced. 3 of the major things that I've ever experienced
Was there,
what the
yeah.
paranormal was there. So
Whenever I was doing research and I was just searching around the area, I found where there was like a murder-suicide or something in one of the houses in that neighborhood.
In that neighborhood?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
I
always...
remember that, yeah.
Yeah, there always seems to be like something going on. It's a strange neighborhood for sure.
It is, and it's like how it's built up on the hill is wild to me.
All right, so would you ever live in a haunted house again? Are you gonna stick clear of that?
I mean, it's good not living in one.
Yeah, right.
But, I mean, always that cool experience,
So you kind of miss it though, right? A little bit. You kind of miss the ghost.
Low key, like I don't want to wish this upon me and her like follow me and like haunt me now forever.
Yeah.
But
it's
if
like,
that's the ghost that chooses to haunt you,
right,
it's
right.
Like you're okay with it.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
familiar with this one. She's cool.
Yeah,
she's never messed me up before.
Yeah, she's
Right.
certified.
I just feel like it would be cool just like to kind of like personally experience, you know.
Right.
But however, you don't get to choose usually that you're moving into a place that's haunted.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
That's not
that's the thing.
information.
You
That's not
never
on this
know.
list.
And in most states, it's not required that the realtor tell you if like some crazy murder, suicides happen in that house.
I think there's laws about that are changing though about deaths and stuff.
Well, there
I think there's laws that are changing about that.
There
And
may
I think
be,
there's
but-
laws that are changing about places being haunted.
really they have
Yeah.
to tell you.
They
Well,
have to
in
tell you
most
now.
places, I follow this awesome page on Facebook, like Died in House, and they show like these crazy houses that are for sale that like these crazy murders and stuff have happened on, and they tell you in the state of Wisconsin or whatever state it is not required for them to disclose because it is not important enough information.
Wow.
That's why I paid like $11.99 for that report where I found out that nobody has died at this house. I paid for it.
Hey, but at least you feel a little more.
I feel secure knowing that nobody's ever died. This house has never been a meth lab. You all know what time it is.
Yeah, it's time for verses.
Yes, and so this week, since we have a guest, we are going to give her the super duper secret box.
Yeah, shake
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah, do however.
Yeah.
It makes a little racket.
She's also going to be our tiebreaker. Well, we have a lucky coin in there, too.
Yeah.
Right?
I love the glitter thing.
Oh, thank you. I've really prettied it out.
Yeah, we've decked it out. We've got some stickers from some friends and stuff.
Yeah, we have some. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the sticker on the top, especially. All right, so
All right, so Maddie's digging. Like always, obviously, we have no idea what she's about to pick.
Yeah.
So all of our opinions are just straight off our head.
yeah, so we're gonna see what two scary
Sure.
things we're gonna pit against each other this week.
Yeah, which one's going to be scary?
There's
we got
not-
a tiebreaker now.
Oh,
All right,
I
here
think
we
she
go.
finally picked one.
Oh. Haunted farmhouse versus haunted mansion.
Ooh, a haunted farmhouse
That would be
versus a
wow.
haunted mansion.
So
Spooky season.
Well, I guess like a farmhouse is scary because it's secluded out in the middle of nowhere potentially.
but the haunted mansion's in a neighborhood.
Well, sometimes it's closer to more civilization than a farmhouse. Is,
Okay,
right?
I guess yeah.
Let me just tell y'all something.
A mansion just might be on like a big lot. That doesn't necessarily mean it's not in a neighborhood closer to neighbors.
Yeah.
A farmhouse, you might not be anywhere miles from a neighbor.
For
Right.
real.
I just have to say this. I think I'll win this debate already because
Okay.
because like in the haunted houses that we go to, like scary movies, just like haunted walkthroughs, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always that scene or that person eating something, and it's like a hillbilly
farmhouse,
pig.
yes,
hillbilly,
yeah.
yeah.
Hillbilly pig.
I
That's so
think-
scary. His mask. I hate it so much.
So you're leaning towards farmhouse.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
I think
just the
that I-
backwoods country.
Yeah, just dead. No
Yeah.
one's gonna know.
Yeah, because I do kind of think like mansion. Like there's usually like some rich.
It's like a
history.
classy.
Yeah, it's more classy, so there's some rich history, so maybe the ghosts or whatever aren't so negative. But like in a farmhouse, it's like you uncovered an ancient Indian monument and they worship this deity and now you're dead.
I don't know why, but farmhouses scare me too because of the barn aspect.
Yeah, the
Like
barn.
all those built, and then like you always see in scary movies whenever they're running through the barn and they have to look through each stall. Or like
Well, you also think there's the tools and the animals.
yes,
when
the dirtiness,
animals,
nastiness.
Yeah, right. And what makes the mansion mostly it's creepy to me because of how large it potentially is and how many different rooms and corridors it might have as a farmhouse, just a few bedrooms and a kitchen. But then you have the barn and the outside and all that, right?
I think it's like a famous murder something, like true crime thing.
And like Texas Chainsaw, that's like on a barn.
That's exactly
that's a great example of a farmhouse haunted house.
But we're also, keep in mind, we're talking haunted, so not just...
But isn't there like a true crime of, oh, you're right, haunted. So
Well,
that's what I'm thinking of, is like that story where they're in that farmhouse in the middle of nowhere and somebody comes in and like kills the whole family.
Oh, like the Villisca Axe murder?
Well, no, but this is like maybe in Oklahoma. It's like legitimately in the middle of nowhere. And somebody found this house and went in and killed this. Like, then I don't know what I'm really talking about, but I'll
that story sounds familiar. I just can't recall like exactly.
Yeah, me neither. But I feel like it's in like Oklahoma or something, in the legitimate middle of nowhere. But
I think we all can kind of agree that the farmhouse is probably the scariest, right?
I think that the farmhouse is scarier, but I don't think it's because it's haunted. We're scared of the monsters and the people.
Right.
You know
I think
what
it's because you're scared of the
Texas
seclusion.
Chainsaw.
Well, like the seclusion. Like there's no one coming to help you. There's no
That's
safety.
true, too.
There's no savior.
You ain't got no
there's nothing
phone
coming to get
signal
you.
in the country.
Yeah. I think that's what we're all scared. It's darker there.
Yeah.
It's harder to see things,
You're right, and
if you
maybe,
scream, probably no one's going to hear you.
Right.
And I feel like you'd think of scary haunted house movies, though. Like, that is no joke either.
Well, but then you think of scary, like, mansions. Who's usually, like, the ghost? It's usually the butler, right?
Or no, it's like the dead rich guy who owned the house in 1700.
Yeah.
He's in love with a girl.
Right.
I may just be
that's very cliche haunting.
the ghost in the haunted Disney Haunted Mansion. That's pretty much the exact storyline. I didn't just recently watch that.
I'm gonna go with farmhouse.
Yes.
I think we're all in agreement on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
How about you? What do you think?
Yeah,
you tell us. Do you think
definitely.
a farmhouse is scarier, or do you think a haunted mansion is scarier?
Or like any experiences that they've had on their own or whatever.
Oh yeah, if you've
Have you had any
experienced something like that.
Ooh, tell us your haunted house. Do you live in a haunted house?
Yeah.
Have you lived in a haunted house? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I know. Whenever I was a kid, my cousin, my aunt grew up. My aunt lived in this house, and then there was like this little house next door. And my cousin and his dad lived in that house, and they used to say that there was a ghost there.
Oh, yeah.
So I would love to know more about that. I'll for sure ask him about it.
There's no shortage of ghost stories, right?
Yeah, for sure. I hope that our house is never haunted again, because I can't handle it.
Yeah, right. I feel you, Maddie. Sometimes I want to live in a haunted house, and sometimes, most of the time, actually, I'm glad I don't live in a haunted house.
I never want to live in a haunted house.
I don't like the uneasiness of it.
For sure. All the stress, tense.
But there is something intriguing about it, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thanks for being our guest, Maddie.
Our very first.
Our very first
that's
guest.
So special.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for telling your
It's
story,
been fun.
too. It's a crazy story. It's even crazier when, you kind of have the same experiences, even though we're not there at the same time all the time.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. And it's crazy that so many people had the same experiences there at that house.
Yeah, right.
All right, well.
All right, well, please
Are you going to be able to sleep tonight?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Get a happy movie on.
Oh yeah, we got plenty.
All right, well.
Please send us your stories. Also, like always, at hauntedhastepodcast@gmail.com. And like we said, please send us a message. Check in with us on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep, and thank you for listening to episode 11. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you
11.
next time
Yes.
for episode 12.
Peace out.
Peace out. Stay haunted. Hey, we're back. Josh and Kristen.
And Maddie.
We got an update for you.
Yeah, so a lot of times we pre-record our episodes, a couple weeks in advance. And so when we first recorded this episode, the next day we left and we went on our family vacation to Las Vegas.
Yep.
And so while we were there, we did a lot. But I think the favorite thing on at least mine and Josh's list is Zach Bagan's Haunted Mansion.
Yes. We went
it was the Haunted Museum.
The Haunted Museum. by Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures fame.
Yeah, Travel Channel.
Travel Channel. Yeah, we went to his haunted mansion that actually has real, legit haunted artifacts in there. Everything from like Dr. Kevorkian's van,
Jeffrey Dahmer's murder kit,
Charles Manson paintings,
Charles Manson's bone fragments.
just a bunch of stuff. What'd you see in there, Maddie? Do you remember anything you saw in there that you thought was interesting?
That one man's head, the
that
Swedish
shrunken
man.
head.
Oh yeah, the shrunken head. Yeah,
They said
there
he
was
was
creepy dolls in there. We even went into the basement, which was supposedly they said was where they held satanic rituals and possible child sacrifices. Yeah. And we went down there, and it was real dark and real creepy. And we heard a knock. And then we got the hell out of there.
Yeah,
right?
we all ran. We were like, "What was that? Let's go."
All right, so but on the episode, Maddie was talking about the haunted house she kind of lived at, and how she had never really had an experience though, which was interesting because when we went to this haunted museum, Maddie kind of had an experience. You want to talk about your experience, Maddie?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different rooms, but the one room that we went in was the room of the Dybbuk box.
Yeah, the Dybbuk box, which is a famous...
it's the most haunted object in the world.
Supposedly the most haunted object in the world, yeah.
It's a box that this lady from the Holocaust created to trap a Dybbuk, which is a Jewish demon.
Correct.
And so this box is said to contain that Dybbuk.
Right, and they've also, like Zach Bagans and Travel Channel, have documented a lot of experiences that people have had because of this Dybbuk box.
Even just being around it.
Right. So we go into that room, right?
Yeah, so we went to the room and
And everything was pretty normal at first, right? It was creepy, eerie, but it was a lot of cool stuff to look at.
Yeah, when we were going through all the other rooms, I felt fine. Like, all of this stuff was cool to me. Like, all the...
It's interesting.
all the Ted Bundys, like, even his, like, ski mask, like, the bag
Oh,
that he
yeah.
had.
Yeah,
So, all that
I think I
stuff-
said Jeffrey Dahmer, but I meant Ted Bundy's murder
I think they had
kit.
some Jeffrey Dahmer stuff in there, too.
I think they
though.
might have, yeah.
And
lot of stuff
the
to look
clown
at.
killer, what's his name?
Oh,
Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, him, all his stuff, all
Yeah.
that was
They
cool
had
to me.
paintings of his.
Yeah, all that stuff was cool to me. So we were going through, and I really wasn't thinking much of it. But then when we went to, because the rooms, they had like rooms where you go like watch a video.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
just to
you
kind of
watch
get
it.
like a background, like educated kind of on the object that you're about to go.
And it's
see.
kind of a warning.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a backstory video that they do for you. You kind of like
just
hear
so you can
the
kind of know
backstory.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go into the room, and then you
see the item.
see the object or the items or whatever it might be. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went in there, and like I was doing fine the whole tour that we were given.
Right, and they had shown us a video with like Post Malone and stuff. Right,
yeah, like before we went into the initial room, we went into that one room, and then she closed the door, and it was just that.
It was a very small room.
Yeah, it was just a very small, dark room. It was just a big TV, and then we watched the video and stuff. And for some reason, like, when we were in that room, I just had, during the video, I just had this weird feeling. Like, all of a sudden, it was you shouldn't really go in here.
Like, it just came over you all of a sudden.
Yeah, like, as we were watching the video and, like, kind of learning about it, what it was, I was just like, ugh.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't like this.
My gut feeling was like, you shouldn't go in here. But also, it was in the back of my head, like, we paid for the VIP experience, so we could do all the extra cool stuff.
Right, yeah.
So I was like, no, we paid for this, so I'm just going to do it. Like, I'm not going to waste our money on it.
Yeah, we got to go through it now, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I went in there, and after we watched the video, I just felt like kind of eerie. I was like, I don't really want to do this. But I was like, y'all were going in it, so I was like, I'll just do it. Like, whatever.
Right. You're just trying to muster up the courage, right?
Yeah. So I went in the room, and, like, there's really not much, like, there's...
You kind of walk in the room, like, it's just kind of like a bedroom, I guess. And you walk in the room, and the Dybbuk box is in the center of the room.
Yeah.
Enclosed in, like, a case,
Yeah.
right? And it's kind of like the main focus of the room. But around on the walls of the room, there's other things to look at, kind of like the history of the Dybbuk box.
And he had his other Dybbuk box in there.
There's also another Dybbuk box that they have in there, yes.
And there was an altar.
Yeah, there was an altar in there.
So you could, like, leave change and stuff.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So you walk in, and you and Kristen are standing there kind of like looking at the Dybbuk box.
And you were over already looking at, like, all the stuff on the wall.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at some of the stuff on the wall, yeah.
So I just remember going in there, really, and I just remember looking at the Dybbuk box, And I swear, y'all, everything around me just went like black. Like it was just like me and just looking at the box.
Wow.
And everything just went like
Tunnel vision.
Like it was a tunnel vision around.
Yeah.
And I remember like it all happened so fast. But I remember Kristen, you were asking me, you're like, "Are you okay? Like what's wrong?" And I just was like, I just started like hyperventilating.
Yeah,
like felt myself starting to panic. And you're on the, kind of on the other side of the room, so you didn't initially know what was going on, and then you looked back, and I was just like panicking.
I think I got your attention. I think
Well,
I was like, Josh.
Maybe someone said my name, or I heard like you guys talking about something. Like, are you okay? And I looked back, and like it was like you were about to fall out.
Yeah.
You were about to like pass out or something.
It was crazy.
And I kind of like rushed over there too. I'm like, "What's going on? Are you okay? What happened?"
You were like
And
crying
Kristen's
at that
like,
point.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the tour guide, she was kind of like, she was like, the heck? Like,
Yeah, what's going on?
I remember hearing like all y'all's commotion, and then I looked over, and she was like saying something on the, like, in the little.
All the walkie-talkie that she had called for.
Oh,
She
she
was
was
like,
calling for someone to come meet us in that room
Yeah.
to help.
Yeah.
to help. Yeah.
So after that, like, we got out of the room, and I just tried to calm myself down. But
Right.
it was just like when I went in there, I saw the box, and it was just like a overwhelming amount of emotion just came on top of me.
Yeah.
And like I didn't know, it was all of a sudden so sudden. And
Yeah.
I wasn't like creeped out before, and all of a sudden it's just all these emotions
Yeah,
that
you
came
had-
on
you had
top
that-
of me.
Right. You had been acting fine the whole time. Like
Yeah.
you weren't really scared too much. It didn't seem.
Yeah.
And it's just all of a sudden this box just.
For some reason, it just made me start to like
mess
panic.
with your emotions. Yeah, you were definitely like hyperventilating. I thought you were having like a panic attack or something. Really,
You basically were.
You basically were. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how, whenever I looked over at you, because like we said, you were on the other side of the room and me and Maddie were kind of close to the box. And I looked over at you and I don't know what it was, but I could tell something was wrong with you. Like, I just knew something's not okay. And then I don't know if you remember this, but you told me, I was like, what's wrong? And you were like, I'm just really scared.
Yeah.
Like, you
Really?
were like, I'm scared. I'm just really scared. And then that's when you, like, really started having trouble breathing and crying and stuff. And then the lady, like, took us all out of the room.
Oh yeah. She was like,
Yeah,
she
took
was
us out of the
trying to
room.
comfort me. But,
Yeah. Yeah.
She was so nice. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong.
And she when we watched that video after we came home, she had experiences with it too.
Right.
Well, yeah, she told you. I've
She
been
told you.
attacked
Yeah.
in this room twice.
Yeah, we went outside.
We were trying to calm you down. She's like, it's attacked me. I'm like, calm down. Like,
She was like, this thing has attacked me. I've seen it before, and I was like, all right, well,
Yeah, she
you're
said
not
she had
helping
seen
me.
it.
Yeah.
She had seen the
she'd
demon.
seen the demon.
That they
yeah.
had to take her out of the room because she was like getting attacked or something. I was
Right,
like, you're
yeah.
not helping me one bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking, oh god, that's not gonna calm her down at all. What the hell?
And then and then you stayed out in the hallway, and Josh and I went back in.
Yeah, well, I stayed with the
Yeah,
tour
we went
guide.
back in because I was like, how crazy is that? We just saw a video, and I've heard about the Dybbuk box for years and years now, and for you to have a similar experience from all the experiences that I've heard,
Yeah.
and I know you're not making it up. I know
Yeah.
you're not fake. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Right.
That was pretty creepy because it's like,
Yeah.
wow, that's crazy that out of all the things here, you had an experience with this thing also. Mm-hmm. So me and Kristen kind of just wanted to go back in just to look and also just wanted
Just
to
'cause,
sense
like-
that energy, you know?
yeah, because as soon as we went in there, all this started happening. Like, it wasn't.
Oh,
like,
it was immediate.
Yeah.
It was within seconds of us walking in.
Yeah, so we really, like, I didn't see nothing.
And that's
like,
what
I couldn't tell you what was in that room. I didn't know there was a, like, altar or anything.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just blacked out.
I just still have the vision in my head. It was just, like, the box. And it kind of looked like there was, like, a light over the box.
There was.
Everything else went black
The
around
box
me.
was kind of lit up.
Yeah.
Like the case
Like
was
a
lit.
display.
Yeah.
But,
But yeah, it made me really nervous because I was like, of course, like we come here and of course you get possessed or by a demon at this freaking museum.
And I've already signed all of our waivers
Yeah.
saying if anything possesses us, we're not going to sue Zach Bagans.
Yeah, right. But me and Kristen go back in the room, and I'm kind of nervous, really, because I just want to sense like that energy. Is like, was there a presence? Like, what is something trying to attack you?
Yeah.
I just wanted to sense if anything was built up like that. And we went in, and we had that lucky quarter.
oh, that
And
had
we
that.
kind of did like a little blessing over it, like please leave Maddie alone. You know, Maddie's good vibes.
And it was
only.
funny because that
And we
quarter
left
had
that
like
quarter on that altar there. Yeah.
Yeah, that quarter had good vibes associated with it already because we had all like been. It was like an inside joke that was cracking us all up
Yeah.
before we ever even went to the museum, and I just happened to put it in my pocket.
Yeah, right.
And
yeah.
so I was like, "This is why I put this quarter in my pocket."
Yeah,
There's
for
a reason,
for
for
times
sure.
like these, yeah. Okay, so after the Dybbuk box experience, we left and then we went and saw Peggy the doll, and you two,
Which was the very next room.
which was the
Yeah.
very next room. So it was already like, man, this is a lot.
Peggy, and also if you don't know, Peggy the doll is said to like cause heart attacks and all kinds of crazy shit just by looking
in the
at her.
eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I didn't go in there at all just because I was
didn't either.
trying to get myself together.
Yeah.
After the whole.
It was
thing
just
in the
well,
room.
I was like, okay, well, this shit's real.
Yeah, like
The Dybbuk
some
box has
actual
already been messing with
experiences.
us, and now we're supposed to go see the doll that makes you have a stroke or a heart attack or some shit.
Yeah, so y'all were
and
like,
I'm
let's
just
pass.
not risking that right now.
I went and saw it though. I
Yeah, you
go there.
did. He
Yeah.
went in there by himself.
Didn't you have like a sharp pain behind your?
I did
like,
feel like something like maybe like kind of grabbed my arm a little bit, and I got out of there. That was the only one I did by myself.
The
and
whole time
it
we
was
were in that
weird.
museum, I felt like I couldn't breathe.
Well, what else did y'all see? The Devil's Rocking Chair we saw in there.
Oh, yeah.
Where,
That's what The Conjuring 3 is going to be
Yeah,
about.
The Conjuring 3 is going to be about the little boy in the Devil's Rocking Chair.
Yeah.
and
That was
Arnie
pretty
Johnson.
cool. I
yeah.
do remember. I don't know if I think this probably has nothing to do with anything, but like I remember when I was in there. I think I was just so like I was still so like shooken up by what had just happened. It was like the second.
The last half you don't even really remember.
Yeah, I do remember like when we were in there. All this, my knees just like gave out on me, almost fell.
Oh, wow.
In the Dybbuk box room?
No, in the
Devil's Rocking Chair.
Yeah, we were standing there.
That was very like
There
Zach
was a-
has it lined up where all the devil shit's back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
through
go
it
from
quick.
that to the to the Hell House to
Yeah.
the Devil's Rocking Chair to Peggy to the
There
Dybbuk
was a lot of heaviness
all
at
together.
once, yeah. Yeah, that Devil's Rocking, that room was very creepy. It just because they played like the recordings of like his supposed exorcism.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very creepy.
Yeah.
It was a cool place. I'm glad we got to go there, and that's kind of crazy that was your first experience after you said you had never really had.
Yeah, I know. Of course, I have one.
Right, but you said it on the podcast. You were
2
like,
nights before.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's so crazy. Such a weird coincidence, I thought.
Yeah.
So on the episode we were talking about versus what we thought was scarier, the haunted farmhouse or the haunted mansion. Now that you guys have been to an actual haunted mansion, are you still leaning farmhouse?
I'm still leaning farmhouse.
Yeah.
I think so too. I feel like the haunted mansion. It's a bunch of. Every time I think of like a haunted mansion, I think of like old haunted like artifacts or like
Yeah.
dolls and stuff like.
Well, they definitely had that in there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. And it was
Yeah.
just like a bunch of like ancient stuff.
It's just old stuff. Yeah.
But like haunted farmhouse, it's so like. I don't know how to explain it.
You're
it's
like
nasty.
secluded.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
dirty.
dilapidated
Yeah.
house.
It's you probably don't have phone signal out there.
Yeah.
No internet.
There's no one coming to save you.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And I just think of scary pigs.
Ooh, I kind of feel you on that.
Okay, well, I guess
We're gonna stick with farmhouse.
stick with the farmhouse, even though we've been to an actual haunted mansion.
I think that's why we can all say the farmhouse is scarier because we made it through the haunted mansion.
Yeah, we would make it through a haunted farmhouse. All right, well, we just want to give you guys an update about our experience in Las Vegas at the Zach Bagans Museum. We thought that was cool, especially since it was relevant to Maddie's first experience ever,
Yeah.
right? How crazy
Yeah.
is that?
And it was with the Dybbuk box.
Yeah.
First experience.
So if you ever get a chance, go check it out for
Yeah.
sure in Las
Oh,
Vegas.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. This is episode 11. We'll see you for episode 12 soon.
Yes, please. That's gonna be a very good one.
Yep. Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Stay haunted.